When people talk about Dragon Ball Masters, they always focus on the really expensive cards that everybody knows. But some of the best artwork and interesting designs hardly ever get talked about. So today I'm showing you 7 of the most underrated cards from Dragon Ball Masters, some promos, some secret rares, and some cards that absolutely need a lot more hype than they already get. So let's get into it. Starting off strong with this Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. This card is massively underrated because most people only think about this card from a rarity or gameplay perspective. But look at the artwork, the energy lines, the motion, the way the artwork fills the entire card. And I think because there's so many Gogeta cards over the years, I think this card gets really overlooked, even though visually this is one of the strongest. And honestly, that is going to be the theme of the video. Cards that got buried simply because bigger cards existed around the same time. Next up is this promo, and this is exactly the kind of card collectors forget about. It's not flashy, it's not an ultra rare, but the artwork tells a story. Goku and Vegeta standing back to back with that rough, battle-worn look. It feels raw compared to most of the modern day cards. Promos like this tend to fly under the radar because these are not the chase pulls. But from an artwork perspective, this is seriously underrated. Speaking of underrated cards, this one is so underrated it is like almost criminal. Regional cards sometimes get ignored purely because they sit in a weird place, either between collectible or competitive. The light effects, the composition, and the upward energy blast, it just looks premium. I think people overlook this card purely because this is not a secret rare, this is a super rare, and that is an absolute mistake because visually this looks like one. Alright, now we're moving into a card that I feel like nobody talks about anymore. This Trunks card is seriously slept on. The darker tones, the red aura, and the overall mood of the card really sets this apart from all the other cards. It feels so serious, almost cinematic, and I feel like that is something that Dragon Ball Masters really leans into. I think this one gets ignored because it's subtle, but when you really look at the artwork, it's really well done. Okay, now we're moving into another big character that somehow feels underrated. Now this is a card that should get way more attention. Gold energy, the aggressive pose, the shattered background, everything about this screams impact. But I feel like because this card came out alongside other big cards, this card got overshadowed. And honestly, if you showed this artwork to someone who doesn't play the game, they'd surely think that this was one of the top pulls. The next one is a bit different, and that's exactly why it made my list. This is one of the cards where the energy just jumps out at you. The double character composition, the bright blues, the motion, it feels fast and powerful. But because it's not one of the big headline cards, it doesn't get the attention it needs or deserves. For me, this is a perfect example of artwork carrying the card. And now the final card, one of the most underrated cards in the game. This might surprise some people, but this energy marker is one of the most underrated artworks in the entire game. It's simple, but that's why it works. The relationship between Goku and Gohan, the colors, the nostalgia. It hits differently compared to the most explosive battle cards. And because it's an energy marker, most people don't even think about this as an artwork worth talking about, which is exactly why it belongs on this list. So those are my 7 most underrated cards. I know there is a lot more out there. Let me know down in the comments which cards you think need attention, because I'm always looking for hidden gems. And if you enjoyed this, don't forget to like and subscribe. I have some more Dragon Ball Masters content coming soon. And as always guys, if you've had a bad day, power up, pull big, stay legendary. See ya.